All right, so our last example is another compound inequality. This time the inequality is or. Whenever you have an or inequality, the word or is going to show up. And basically, you just treat the two parts as separate inequalities to solve. So we'll start with the k plus 6. I'm going to go ahead and rewrite that is less than -4. I'll work just on that part. I want to get the k by itself, so I'll subtract 6 from both sides of the inequality, and that zeroes out 6 minus 6. I'll have k is less than, and -4 minus 6 is -10. So k is less than -10. All right, now I'm going to work on the other part of this. So I'll say or and work on 3k is greater than or equal to 14. And so once again, you're in Algebra 2. We're going to divide by 3. You might be thinking that's weird. It doesn't divide. You're right, it doesn't. So k is greater than or equal to 14 thirds. Now, if all you have to do is type in your solution, you would type in k is less than -10. There'll probably be some way for you to select the word or, and then k is greater than or equal to the fraction 14 over 3. But in order to graph something like this, um, we're going to need to probably have a decimal approximation for 14 over 3. So 14 thirds, you could take 14 in your calculator, divide that by 3, and you'll get 4.6 repeating. So we'll roughly use 4.6 for our graph. So just a little bit bigger than 4 and a little bit less than 5, right between 4 and 5. So as you do this graph, you have to be careful that you have plenty of tick marks. So I've already looked ahead, and I know this last one I need to go ahead and just mark it as -10, and then -9, -8, and we'll just continue on numbering till we get to 0, and then positives. So we'll go from -10 to +10. So we want to show on this graph both parts of this statement because k can be less than -10. So let's graph that part. K is less than -10. So that means that we would use an open circle on that -10. Less than means going away from 0, so to the left. We want to darken that in. Less than -10. But also on this graph, we have the rest of the solution, or k is greater than or equal to 14 thirds, which we said we would use the decimal 4.6. So if you do have to graph a decimal, it's in between 4 and 5. Choose a spot in between 4 and 5. Notice that I used a solid dot because I have less than or equal to, or excuse me, greater than or equal to. And since it's greater than, I want to go to the right. I want to get my numbers that are bigger than 4.6. And so those two arrows do not overlap. But in an OR problem, it is not necessary for there to be an overlap because that statement will be true if either part is true. So there you have an OR compound inequality. All of that is the solution, and the graph also shows that same solution. Good luck on your homework.